I have heard many stories about Pootie Tang, the man, the myth. And before you is a documentary I've made after I've searched him out to get his story in his own words. And this is his story. This is the real Pootie Tang in his own words. And I hope to separate a lot of the myths and legends surrounding Pootie Tang and bring you the man, the real Pootie Tang. So yeah, I guess the first story I'll tell on this documentary is something many people don't know about me. Is I actually did 2 tours of duty in Vietnam, and yeah, it's not something I talk about a lot, but you know, it's something I think about a lot. You know, I think back on it a lot, and I don't know. I guess like the one of the stories that really sticks out in my mind that I could impart on you guys is during my first tour, and it was in the spring of 1967. Yeah, I mean I was green, right out of boot camp. No. Yeah, boot camp was something else. You know, it was. I struggled at first, but you know, I really, I really came out pretty fucking together after that. I tell you what, they really whip you into shape. But the story I want to tell is something that happened, you know, after I was already over in Nam for a few months there, you know, and it's about a couple friends of mine, you know, from my platoon and everything, and yeah, it's one of those things that just it still sticks with me today. So figure why not start there, you know, and well, basically what happened is like I'll give you a little backstory on it. You know, there was 2 guys in our platoon that were like fucking best friends. They were from the same little, it was amazing. They were from the same little town out in fucking Ohio. You know, a small town, rural town. We're not talking about like Cincinnati or Cleveland or something. We're talking about small. I can't even remember the name of the town. But like, yeah, these 2 came from that town, and we nicknamed them 8 Ball and Cue Ball. Like, 8 Ball was this black dude. I mean, nicest fucking guy, but when he got in combat, he was scary. He was a tough son of a bitch. And then Cue Ball was this white guy. Both bald-headed motherfuckers, but they were from the same town, and they were fucking inseparable. They were like this, man. Fucking looking out for each other, always had each other's backs. You know, they just had this... We all had a bond in the platoon, but these 2, they had, like, a much stronger bond, you know? Well, anyway, one day, I mean, it was just fucking pissing down rain for days. You know, it seemed like a month, but it was probably only like fucking a week tops, probably 4 or 5 days, just straight pissing down rain, and it was just the humidity, and it was, oh man, it was miserable. it was just plain miserable. And anyway, the rain finally let up, you know, sun came out a little bit. You know, mosquitoes were still a pain in the ass. It seemed like they weren't as bad for a little bit there, you know, and So we decided to start humping some clicks. And anyway, we came up to this kind of clearing, this little meadow. Had tall, thick grass and everything. And, we stopped on the edge. And anyway, fucking, we didn't want to just rush out there. You never know what's going on in the jungle. Clearing might look nice. It might seem like a good break from the jungle, from the thick jungle and everything, but sometimes that was even more dangerous than that thick jungle. Sometimes you were more scared and on edge when you came to one of them clearings. Well, anyway, we got together and we were formulating a plan there, and Cue Ball, he fucking volunteered to, scout ahead a little bit, see what was going on. So, he slowly crept out there and everything. And he got in about 15, 20 feet, and we were starting to settle down. It seemed like everything was going to be all right. Well, he hit a tripwire, which immediately exploded, and all we could see was just dirt and grass and smoke and no sign of Cue Ball. He was blown to pieces, died instantly, Anyway, old A-Ball, he was just, it took fucking 5 or 6 of us to hold him back from running out there to try to save his friend. Because as soon as that fucking went off, there was gunfire from across the meadow. Fucking goddamn Vietnamese were just lighting us up, so we fucking fell back, a good 50 feet, and, we tried to formulate some kind of plan. We split up into 2 groups, we figured, we'll hunker down a little bit, we'll wait for the firefight to get over, and then, we'll start making our way around. And, at this point, 8-Ball's just losing his mind, He's completely inconsolable. We tried everything, we tried to keep him calm, and it took everything just to get him to not run out there and also die, because we just lost one guy. We just lost one man. We didn't want to lose another, and finally we talked him down enough just to keep him from running out there. But so we hunkered down for a little while. We waited for the enemy fire to die down, and then we slowly split up in 2 groups. We split up in 2 groups, and we slowly made our way around, around the clearing, keeping in eyesight somewhat. We wanted to stay back from the tree line. We didn't want to be right out in the open, but we slowly came up, and I think each team was about halfway around, somewhere around halfway around, and then, enemy fire opened up again, and then we got one hell of a firefight. I had fucking bullets whizzing by me left and right, and finally, it's kind of tough to talk about because, I was razor thin edge of death. And, it's one of those things that changes you a little bit, and, so anyway, in my team, fucking 8-Ball was in my team there, and, he just, something snapped, whether it was just the war altogether, whether it was just this firefight, whether it was Cena's best friend killed, or like a combination of everything. You know, he just snapped. You know, and fucking he ran full bore. Took everything. Like, I was right behind him, so I had to try to keep up with him and, you know, give him some kind of fucking cover while he was just fucking going. But I mean, we're fucking shooting gooks left and right, you know, fucking just left and right, you know. I ended up taking one in the shoulder, but like, I don't know, I went in and out, and you got that much adrenaline pumping, it's like nothing, you know. Felt like maybe a little punch in the arm, and that was it. But you know, eventually, you know, we drove him back. We got around to the other side there, and we drove him back. You know, we're sitting there just firing off round after round after round, fucking grenades, just everything. And finally, we made it to the other side of the clearing, and you know, we just kind of reconvened there, and you know, hunkered down. Fucking three more men in our platoon, like, died on our way around that one little tiny, safe-looking field. You know what? And then we got around there, and you know, even though we tried to stop 8 Ball from, excuse me, going back into that tall grass and everything, because, you know, there might have been more landmines out there. There could have been fucking anything out there. Shit, there could have been some more fucking gooks laying out there waiting to just fucking slit his throat. We didn't know. I mean, it seemed like we drove them all back, but when you get out there in the bush, you just don't know. And anyway, he went out there though, and he got cue balls, fucking tags, and brought him back. But he was never the same after that. He was quiet. I mean, he used to smile and laugh. You know, he used to crack jokes and just have us just fucking laughing. Him and fucking cue ball both. You know, they were just fucking cut up, fucking couple country ass motherfuckers. But they were funny, and they were good men. But yeah, like after cue ball got fucking wasted, 8 Ball was just never the same. And we ended up making it out of that jungle. I mean, like, most of us, you know. And by that I mean, like, you know, those of us that physically made it out of that jungle, you know, maybe not all of us mentally made it out of that jungle. And, you know, it took a while to get over that. But by my second tour, I was salty as fuck. And it weren't nothing. It actually breezed by pretty quick. You know, and I got more stories about this tour, and I got more stories about that tour. But I figured a good start would be telling you about cue ball and 8 Ball. What happened there. And, yeah. But that was Nam. I could tell that it was tough for him to speak about what went on in the war, but I could also see that he was one of those survivors that physically made it out, but also mentally and emotionally made it out. that he was a strong, strong man and a better man for it. This is the real Pootie Tang.